The delegation has come from Hohhot, headquarters of the Mongol prince Altan Khan. Hohhot is just 400 kilometers from the Forbidden City. Altan Khan lives in a palace he's had built on Chinese lines. He's a great admirer of Chinese culture, and he's broken with the tradition of his forefathers in another way. He's the first Mongol leader since Genghis Khan to build a permanent, fortified city. But his people still live in yurts, the traditional round tents of the nomads of the steppe. They live entirely from their livestock, wandering over the steppe. They pitch their yurts wherever they find grazing land for their herds. For the weakest of the nomads, the children and the elderly, the long winters are a struggle for survival. Many don't make it through. The Chinese to the south know all about their suffering. Chinese sources report. In spring, they often beg our patrols to buy their cattle, 1 ox for a pickle or so of rice or beans. Some would bring hides or horsehair, hoping to stave off starvation for 1 more day. For the nomads, there's no way out. Only trade with their Chinese neighbors, who possess limitless rice and grain, could bring an end to their hardship. But in the imperial palace, behind the walls of the Forbidden City, no one is interested in the barbarians' troubles. Here in the center of the world, the ruler's priority is to carry out the prescribed rituals that will guarantee order in the universe. Even having to consider Altan Khan's request for trade relations is an affront to the emperor. The idea of trading on equal terms with the Mongols is completely unimaginable. The emperor had already demanded that the character representing barbarians had to be written as small as possible on all official documents. A price is put on Altan Khan's head, and future Mongolian ambassadors will be executed. But the Chinese peasants in the border region know exactly what their emperor's policy will mean for them. Now the nomads will take with force what the emperor has denied them. The peasants don't have long to wait. Mongol horsemen stream across the empire's northern borders. The wheel of history, which has revolved around violence and plunder for more than 1,500 years, is turning again. Those the Mongols spare will starve in the ravaged fields.
In the Forbidden City, there were two schools of thought. They had different views as to how to put an end to the raids. One side argued for trade relations. The other wanted a military response. But a military response carried the risk of defeat. Since they couldn't agree on trade or on war, they made a compromise.
Thus was the decision explained that the emperor finally announced. Barbarians prefer aggression. We are more suited to defense. On the command of the emperor, General Weng Wanda, leader of the border troops, reports to the Forbidden City to receive his orders. General Weng Wanda is appointed Supreme Commander of the capital's defense forces. His mission is to reinforce the garrisons of Datong and Xuanfu and to secure the capital with a long wall. Weng Wanda's fortifications to the northwest of Beijing form part of a much larger defense system, the 9 border garrisons. Strung out like beads on a chain, they run from the easternmost to the westernmost point of the Chinese Empire. The last outpost in the west is the fort of Jiayuguan. Jiayuguan means pass to the beautiful valley. Only the 5,500-meter peak of Mount Qilian stands higher than the powerful fortress. According to legend, the master builder of the fort calculated the construction materials so precisely that when they finished, just 1 brick was left over. It's still there, on the side of a tower. Close by, the first tower of the Ming Wall rises up, a lonely outpost on the edge of the steppe. In the south, the wall abruptly ends on the cliffs of the river Beida. On the other side of Jiayuguan Fort, the wall continues eastwards. Over the centuries, wind and weather have torn gaps in the wall. For here, it's not made of stone, but of rammed earth, a material used for buildings and walls in China since time immemorial. Sections of the wall run parallel to an older set of earth defenses built around the year 1000. When General Weng Wanda's task is completed, the northwest of China is completely sealed off. The capital, Beijing, is protected by its own ring of walls. The Ordos, the northern region enclosed by a huge curve of the Yellow River. It has always been the gateway for the nomads into China. Here too, though wind and weather have done their worst, the wall and its towers can still be made out on the crags above the river. The garrison forts were the outposts of this defensive outer wall.